Hey everyone, welcome back to the show.
Hello. We are so happy you are here today.
Alice, have you ever woken up from a really vivid dream and thought, wow, that felt so real?
Absolutely. Sometimes I wake up and I'm genuinely disappointed that I'm not actually flying or that I didn't actually win the lottery.
I know that feeling. But have you ever looked at your pet, maybe your dog or cat, twitching in their sleep and wondered, are they dreaming too?
Oh, I do that all the time. My cat, Mittens, sometimes makes little chirping noises in her sleep, like she's chasing birds. I always imagine she's having a grand adventure.
Well, today we're going to explore that very question. Our reading passage is titled, Do Animals Dream?
Do animals dream? Ooh, just from the title, I'm already thinking about what kind of animals we might talk about. Will it be about pets like dogs and cats? Or maybe more exotic animals like lions or even fish? I wonder if it will explain how scientists figure out if an animal is dreaming. And what about nightmares? Do animals have those too?
Great questions. It could talk about brain scans or maybe special sleep stages. Perhaps we'll hear stories about animals acting strangely in their sleep. Let's dive in and see what discoveries await us.
I love it. I can't wait to find out.
Here is what we will do today. In Part 1, we read the passage together. In Part 2, we learn 8 skills to help you understand complex texts. In Part 3, we do a quick review, and in Part 4, we practice with real questions from the passage.
4 parts, 8 skills, and a lot of sleepy animals. This is going to be a good one.
Let's start. Okay, welcome to Part 1. This is our reading passage. The title is, Do Animals Dream?
Remember, don't worry about understanding every single word right now. Just try to get the main idea of each paragraph.
I will read each paragraph slowly. After each paragraph, Alice will explain the main idea in simple English. Then we move on.
Ready? Let's read.
Studies using electrodes attached to the heads of sleepers have shown that when we sleep, we do so in 2 ways that alternate throughout the night. The first is rapid eye movement, or REM, or active sleep. During this stage, our eyes move even though our eyelids are closed. Our muscles also twitch slightly. In contrast, we also engage in non-REM sleep, during which we barely move at all. Most dream states, and certainly those with the most vivid dreams, happen during REM sleep.
Okay, so simple English. When humans sleep, our bodies do 2 main things. One is called REM sleep, or active sleep. Our eyes move and our bodies twitch a little. This is when we have our clearest, most real-feeling dreams. The other is non-REM sleep, which is quieter, with almost no movement.
One important phrase, vivid dreams. Vivid means very clear, very strong, like you're really there. So vivid dreams are those super real dreams.
Vivid dreams. Say it with me. Vivid dreams.
There's some evidence that other mammals may also dream. For example, researchers compared the brain patterns of rats running through a maze when awake with their brain patterns during REM sleep. They found the patterns were very similar and concluded that the sleeping rats were dreaming about going through the maze.
This paragraph tells us that other mammals, like rats, probably dream too. Scientists watched rats run through a maze, and they also watched their brains during sleep. The brain signals were almost the same, so the scientists think the rats were dreaming about going through the maze.
Brain patterns means the electrical signals and activity inside the brain. Think of it like a special map of what the brain is doing.
So paragraph A was about human sleep and dreams. Paragraph B gives us the first animal example, rats dreaming about mazes. Makes sense so far.
But finding evidence of dreaming in non-mammals has proved more difficult. Recently, however, researchers succeeded in recording brain activity in sleeping pigeons. As in mammals, the recordings revealed both REM and non-REM sleep. Intriguingly, REM sleep activity was high in brain regions involved in processing visual information, especially images related to physical activities, such as flying, which suggests that this may possibly be what the pigeons were dreaming about.
Now, what about animals that are not mammals? It's harder to tell. But scientists did record the brain activity of sleeping pigeons. They also had REM sleep. And during REM sleep, the parts of their brain that see things, especially things like flying, were very active. So the idea is that pigeons might dream about flying.
Visual information means anything to do with seeing. Your eyes take in visual information.
Quick question for you. What kind of activity did the pigeons' brains show during REM sleep? Was it about eating or about flying?
The answer is flying. The passage specifically mentions images related to physical activities such as flying. Nice.
That's right. The passage specifically mentions images related to physical activities such as flying. Nice.
That said, dreaming and REM sleep are unlikely to be universal in the animal kingdom. Sponges don't have brains, so they lack the machinery for dreaming. There are also some animals with unusual sleep patterns. These include whales and dolphins, which do not shut down their entire brain when they sleep, but only half of it, keeping the rest awake. They also show no sign of REM sleep, suggesting that they may only experience non-REM dreams, which are less vivid. It's thought that they don't experience REM sleep because during REM sleep, animals are more vulnerable to extremes of temperature.
This paragraph tells us that not all animals dream. Sponges, for example, have no brain, so no dreams. Whales and dolphins are also interesting. They only sleep with half their brain at a time, keeping the other half awake. They don't have REM sleep, so their dreams are not as clear or vivid. This might be because REM sleep makes them more vulnerable to cold or heat in the ocean.
Vulnerable means easy to hurt or damage. If you are vulnerable, you are not well protected. Nevertheless, in many cases, REM sleep does seem to have benefits. Growing evidence from birds and mammals suggests that REM sleep and dreaming are important for forming memories and learning. It is believed that when events are replayed in dreams, this helps to integrate memories into longer-term storage. As soon as animals evolved moderately complex lifestyles, they would have needed to dream in order to manage these lifestyles.
So, even though not everyone dreams, REM sleep is useful. For birds and mammals, REM sleep helps them make memories and learn things. When they replay things in their dreams, it helps them store these memories for a long time. It helps them put memories into longer-term storage.
Integrate memories means to put different memories together and store them in a way that makes sense, often for a long time.
However, we still don't understand how this outward behavior relates to internal experience. It seems impossible to know what it's like to be a rat or a pigeon, let alone imagine their dreamscapes. We are quick to interpret the twitching limbs and quiet barks of sleeping dogs, but the truth is that we don't know if there is an internal experience of chasing rabbits that comes along with that.
Internal experience means what something feels like inside your mind or body. It's your personal feeling or thought. Another non-human dreamer offers insight here. In 2019, David Scheel of Alaska Pacific University housed an octopus named Heidi in a tank in his living room. At one point, Heidi seemed to dream. Her limbs and head moved, and her skin rapidly changed color as though she was pursuing a crab. Similarly, a report recently emerged of a sleeping octopus apparently having a nightmare. Costello, as the octopus was called, thrashed around, extended his mantle as if trying to make himself look bigger, and squirted ink as though he were being attacked by a predator. Scheel argues that as well as outward behavior, brain imaging is needed to show that the octopuses are replaying sequences of activities from their waking lives in dreams.
This paragraph gives us two fascinating examples of octopuses. One octopus, Heidi, moved her body and changed skin color like she was chasing a crab in her sleep. Another octopus, Costello, seemed to have a nightmare. He moved wildly and squirted ink like he was being attacked. But scientists still say we need to look at their brains, not just their outside actions, to be sure they're dreaming.
The trouble is that we will never be able to experience any animal's dreams. That goes for other humans' dreams too. But we can try to imagine what these dreamscapes are like by meeting animals on their own terms. For example, vision is the dominant sense for many humans, and so our dreams are heavily visual too. Dogs primarily navigate the world using smell, while spiders rely much more on vibrations.
The final point is that we can never truly know what another animal's dream feels like, or even another person's dream. Humans mostly experience the world through vision, or seeing, so our dreams are very visual. But a dog uses its nose. Its smell is its dominant sense. A spider feels vibrations, so their dreams might be full of smells or feelings, not just pictures.
Dominant sense means the most important way an animal experiences the world. For humans, it's seeing. For dogs, it's smelling. Okay, that is the full passage, 8 paragraphs. Let's quickly remember the main idea of each in case your mind wandered anywhere along the way.
Paragraph A, how humans sleep, REM and non-REM. Paragraph B, rats dream about mazes. Paragraph C, pigeons might dream about flying. Paragraph D, not all animals dream, like sponges, whales, and dolphins. Paragraph E, REM sleep helps with memory and learning. Paragraph F, we don't really know what animals feel inside. Paragraph G, octopuses show dreamlike behavior but need brain scans. And paragraph H, we can never truly know what others dream, and dreams might be based on different senses. So, that was our reading passage. How did you feel about that one? Lots of interesting animal facts.
If you didn't catch everything, that is completely normal. The goal was just to get the general shape of each paragraph and understand the main points.
Humans, rats, pigeons, whales, octopuses. Dreams are complex. If you generally followed the journey of animal dreams, you've done great.
And now we are going to learn the 8 skills that help you read any passage like this faster and more confidently. Let's go to part 2. Welcome to part 2. This is the main part of today's episode, the 8 reading skills.
8 skills you can use in your next IELTS exam or even just to understand articles better. Are you ready?
Let's begin with skill 1.
Okay, skill number 1, David?
Skill number 1. Skim the whole passage first before you read carefully.
Skim? You mean read it super fast?
Yes, very fast. Don't stop for difficult words. Just get the general idea of each paragraph.
So for our animal dreams passage, what's the general idea?
Paragraph A introduces human sleep. Paragraph B gives evidence in rats. Paragraph C in pigeons. Paragraph D talks about animals that don't dream. Paragraph E discusses the benefits of dreams. Paragraph F says we can't really know what animals feel. Paragraph G shows octopus examples. And paragraph H talks about how different senses might shape dreams.
Oh, so it's basically human sleep, then animal examples, then the purpose, then the mystery. That's the same shape we just reviewed a moment ago.
Exactly. And once you know that shape, finding answers becomes much faster.
That makes a lot of sense. I always used to read the whole thing first. No more.
Here is a tip. When you skim, only read the first sentence of each paragraph. That sentence usually tells you what the paragraph is about.
Say this with me. Skim first.
Skill number 2. Always read the questions first before you scan for answers.
Wait, isn't that obvious?
You'd think so, but many students start reading the passage in detail before they even know what they're looking for.
Ah, so they waste time reading things they don't need.
Exactly. If the question asks about pigeon dreams, you already know which words to look for.
So the question guides the reading, not the other way around.
Perfectly said. The question is your map. Read the map before you start walking.
The question is your map. Say it with me. The question is your map. Okay, skill 3.
Scan for keywords. Don't read every word. Let your eyes jump to the important ones.
What counts as a keyword?
Names, numbers, dates, and unusual words. For example, in our passage, REM sleep, rats, pigeons, whales, Heidi, Costello.
So if a question asks about specific animals, I just scan for those names?
Exactly. Your eyes move down the page quickly, like a camera, looking for the important things.
Like a camera. My eyes are a camera. I love that.
Specific names and scientific terms are always easy to spot. If a question mentions REM sleep or Costello, your eyes will find it very quickly.
All right, quick pit stop. So far, we've got skim first, questions are your map, and now eyes like a camera for keywords. 3 down, 5 to go.
Skill 4 is a really useful one. Watch for paraphrasing.
What do you mean by paraphrasing?
The question will almost never use the exact same words as the passage. It will use synonyms instead.
Can you give me an example from our passage about animal dreams?
Sure. The passage says, REM sleep and dreaming are important for forming memories and learning. A question might say, dreams help create lasting memories and acquire new knowledge.
Oh, forming memories becomes create lasting memories, and learning becomes acquire new knowledge.
Exactly. Same meaning, different words.
That sounds hard.
It gets easier with practice, honestly. The skill is simply, don't look for the same words, look for the same meaning.
Say that again, David. I want to remember it.
Don't look for the same words, look for the same meaning.
Don't look for the same words, look for the same meaning. Say it with me. Skill 5?
Find the topic sentence. Usually, the first sentence of a paragraph tells you what the whole paragraph is about.
So in paragraph D, the first sentence says, dreaming and REM sleep are unlikely to be universal in the animal kingdom.
Right. So immediately, you know, this paragraph is about animals that don't dream or have unusual sleep.
So I don't need to read the whole paragraph carefully unless the question is about exceptions to dreaming.
Exactly right. The topic sentence is like a sign on a door. It tells you what is inside before you open the door.
Let's practice. Listen to this first sentence. What is the paragraph about?
There's some evidence that other mammals may also dream.
The paragraph is about other mammals dreaming. That is paragraph B. Did you get it right?
Skill 6 is the one that trips learners up the most, but it's really just a small logic puzzle. True, false, not given questions.
Oh no, I always get confused with not given.
Everyone does it first. Here is the key difference. True means the passage says the same thing as the statement. False means the passage says the opposite. Not given means the passage simply does not mention it at all.
So, not given does not mean false. It just means the passage is silent. No information.
Exactly. The passage is silent. Say it with me. The passage is silent. And here's a little trick this question type likes to play. Sometimes the statement says all or only, but the passage only talks about some or many. That's usually a false. The statement went too far.
Ooh, so watch out for words like all, every, always, only, never. Good tip.
Okay, let me test you. Here is a statement. Only humans experience vivid dreams.
The passage talks about rats and pigeons dreaming, and it says whales have less vivid dreams, implying others have vivid ones. So that is false, because the passage says the opposite.
Correct. Now try this one. All animals have REM sleep.
The passage says sponges don't have brains, and whales/dolphins show no sign of REM sleep. So the answer is false. Not all animals have REM sleep.
Perfect. You just used skill 6 correctly.
Skill 7?
Manage your time. If one question is taking too long, skip it and come back later.
But isn't it bad to leave a question unanswered?
It's worse to spend 5 minutes on one hard question and lose time for 5 easy ones.
Oh, so one hard question can cost you many easy points.
Exactly. Always guess something, mark it, and move on. You can come back at the end if you have time.
A good rule of thumb, roughly 1.5 minutes per question. If you're still stuck after that, move on and come back later.
And our last skill, skill 8, guess unknown words from context. You will never know every word, and that is completely normal.
Oh, that is so good to hear.
For example, imagine you don't know the word thrash in our passage about the octopus Costello. But the sentence talks about him thrashing around, extending his mantle, and squirting ink as though he were being attacked.
So I can guess thrashing must mean moving violently or wildly, like he's fighting. I don't need the exact definition. I just need enough to answer the question.
Exactly. Context is the words around the unknown word. Use those words as clues.
Say this with me. Use context clues.
And that is skill 8, and all 8 skills done.
Wow, 8 skills. That was a lot, but I feel much more confident now.
You should. These are real, practical skills that every good IELTS reader uses.
And the important thing is, these skills work together. Skim, read the questions, scan for keywords, watch for paraphrasing, topic sentence, true, false, not given, time management, context clues. They are a team.
All 8 working together. Let's go review them quickly.
Before we move on to part 3, David, where can students practice these reading logic skills?
Definitely check out IELTSlogic.com. It offers full reading passage breakdowns, listening practice, and speaking logic training.
That's awesome! Built by system architects to sharpen your analytical thinking. Visit IELTSlogic.com today.
Welcome to part 3. Quick review, no pressure, just a fun recap. Alice, I'm going to quiz you on the skills. Ready?
Ready. I will remember all 8. Watch me.
Okay, Alice, I'm going to quiz you. Skill 1. What do we do first when we see a new passage?
Read every single word very carefully from beginning to end?
No, that's the opposite. Skim first. Get the big picture.
Right. Skim first. I knew that. Okay, my turn. Skill 2. Read the questions before you scan.
Good one. And skill 3?
Scan for keywords, not full sentences. Eyes like a camera.
Excellent. Now, skill 4, the tricky one. When the question uses different words than the passage, what is that called?
That's parallel meaning? No, it's paraphrasing.
Yes, paraphrasing. Don't look for the same words, look for the same meaning.
Okay, skill 5. Find the topic sentence in each paragraph.
And skill 6, the one everyone finds confusing.
True, false, not given. Remember, true means the same, false means opposite, and not given means the passage is silent.
Perfect. And what about skill 7?
Manage your time. Don't get stuck on one question.
And finally, skill 8?
Guess unknown words from context. Use the words around them as clues.
8 skills. I think I got them all this time.
Well, almost. You nearly said read every word at the start.
That one doesn't count. I was warming up. Now, if you feel like it, try saying all 8 out loud yourself. No pressure. Even remembering 4 or 5 is great.
However you did, that is genuine progress.
8 skills reviewed, quickly and clearly. Remember, you don't need to memorize the names, you need to do them. Skills are actions, not words. Alice, a quick reminder for our listeners before we head into part 4.
Yes, for complete reading sentence analysis, synonym replacements, and solution pathways, head over to IELTSlogic.com.
It's designed by IELTS experts to help you build clear logic. Check out IELTSlogic.com and boost your score. Now, the most important part, putting the skills into action. Let's go to part 4. Welcome to part 4, practice time. We are going to use our passage about animal dreams. Remember, the one about human sleep, animal examples, the purpose, and the mystery? And I will ask you real exam-style questions.
Try to answer before we give you the answer if you can. Say it out loud if you like. No pressure, though. Just listening carefully works too.
We have a mix of table completion and true-false not given questions today. After each question, we'll pause. Then we go back to the passage, look at the exact line, and explain the answer. Okay, let's start with a table completion question. Choose one word only from the passage for each answer. For question 1, the table says, research into sleep and dreaming. Research findings, similar brain patterns were observed when active and sleeping. Comment, indicative of dreaming. What is the animal for question 1?
Let's go back to paragraph B. It says,
researchers compared the brain patterns of rats running through a maze when awake with their brain patterns during REM sleep. They found the patterns were very similar, so the animal is rats. This shows our skill of scanning for keywords like brain patterns and specific animal names.
Next table completion, question 2. For pigeons, the table says, when sleeping, pigeons displayed activity in parts of the brain that deal with blank input. What is that missing word? For this, we look at paragraph C, which is all about pigeons. It states, REM sleep activity was high in brain regions involved in processing visual information. The missing word is visual. This is a direct match, a keyword scan. Moving on to whales and dolphins for question 3. The table says, still have blank their brain awake when they sleep. What word completes that sentence?
We need to find the part about whales and dolphins in paragraph D. It clearly states, whales and dolphins, which do not shut down their entire brain when they sleep, but only half of it, keeping the rest awake. So the answer is half, another direct word from the text.
Still with whales and dolphins, question 4. The table says they don't experience REM sleep as this could affect their sensitivity to blank. What is the word? Back to paragraph D. The passage explains, it's thought that they don't experience REM sleep because during REM sleep, animals are more vulnerable to extremes of temperature. The answer is temperature. This question required us to understand the reason why they avoid REM sleep. And the last table completion, question 5, also about whales and dolphins. The table says their dreams are probably not very blank. What word is needed here?
In paragraph D again, it mentions that whales and dolphins may only experience non-REM dreams, which are less vivid, so they are not very vivid. This is a good example of paraphrasing, where less vivid in the passage matches not very vivid in the question.
Okay, great job on those table questions. Now let's try some true, false, not given statements. Remember the rules for true, false, not given. Statement 6. Dreaming about past experiences helps us to create lasting memories of them. Is this true, false, or not given?
Let's check paragraph E. The passage says, when events are replayed in dreams, this helps to integrate memories into longer-term storage. Creating lasting memories is the same as integrating memories into longer-term storage. So the statement is true. This is a classic example of paraphrasing.
Statement 7. It is now possible to tell what type of dream a dog is having. Is this true, false, or not given?
For this, we go to paragraph F. It says, we are quick to interpret the twitching limbs and quiet barks of sleeping dogs, but the truth is that we don't know if there is an internal experience of chasing rabbits that comes along with that. The passage clearly states we don't know, so the statement it is now possible to tell is the opposite of what the passage says. The answer is false.
Statement 8. David Shiel's documentary was influential on other research into the sleeping patterns of octopuses. Is this true, false, or not given?
We find David Shiel in paragraph G. It talks about him housing an octopus and observing its dreamlike behavior. However, the passage does not mention whether his documentary influenced other research. It only describes his observations. Therefore, the answer is not given. This is a key difference. Information is not provided.
Statement 9. While it was asleep, the octopus called Costello reacted as if it was hunting.
Let's look at paragraph G again, specifically the part about Costello. It says Costello thrashed around and squirted ink as though he were being attacked by a predator. The statement says hunting, but the passage says attacked. These are opposites, so the answer is false. Be careful with those subtle differences. Statement 10. Shiel believes more research into octopus's dreams should be carried out. Is this true, false, or not given?
Again, in paragraph G, David Shiel argues that as well as outward behavior, brain imaging is needed to show that the octopuses are replaying sequences of activities. If he says brain imaging is needed, it means he believes more research should be done. So this statement is true. This requires a little bit of logical inference from what he states is needed.
Statement 11. We may soon be able to share the dreams of other human beings. Is this true, false, or not given? Let's go to the beginning of paragraph H. It states, the trouble is that we will never be able to experience any animal's dreams. That goes for other humans' dreams too. The word never makes this statement false. The passage directly contradicts the idea of soon being able to share. Statement 12. Hearing may be an important part of the dreams of some animals. Is this true, false, or not given?
In paragraph H, the passage discusses dominant senses. It says humans' dreams are visual, dogs use smell, and spiders rely on vibrations. It talks about different senses. However, it does not specifically mention hearing as an important part of any animal's dreams, so the answer is not given.
And our final question, Statement 13. Interest in the reasons why humans dream has increased greatly in recent times. Is this true, false, or not given? The last paragraph, paragraph H, talks about dreaming serving multiple purposes and shedding light on human dreams. But it never mentions whether interest in human dreams has increased greatly recently. It talks about the purpose of dreams, not the level of interest. So the answer is not given. Okay, we just went through all 13 questions. David, let me ask, what skills did we actually use today?
Great question. Let's see. First, paraphrasing. Almost every question had a synonym swap, like longer-term storage for lasting memories, or not very vivid for less vivid.
Right, and we definitely used scanning for keywords for the table completion questions, like finding rats or visual.
Then, logic signals and careful reading for true, false, not given. We had to check if the statement was the same, opposite, or just not mentioned. Like for the dog dreaming question, the passage said, "We don't know," making the statement possible to tell false.
So if you take one thing from today, it's this. The answer is almost never about finding the exact same word. It's about finding the same idea in different words or understanding the exact logic.
Well said. Okay, let's move on to our closing. So that is it for today. 8 reading skills and a fascinating look at the dreams of animals.
Let's say all 8 one more time. Fast. Skim. Questions first. Keywords. Paraphrasing. Topic sentence. True, false, not given. Time management. Context clues.
8 skills. Beautiful.
Before we go, say this with me. I have the right strategy.
I have the right strategy.
I have the right strategy.
Say it one more time if you like, because it's true.
Oh, before we go, one last fun fact about dreams. Did you know that some people believe that if you wake up during REM sleep, you are more likely to remember your dream? But if you wake up during non-REM sleep, you probably won't remember anything.
So if you want to remember your dreams, set your alarm for REM sleep.
Exactly. Okay, that's it for today. Bye, everyone.
Until next time, keep reading, keep practicing, and trust the process. Bye-bye.